Let me tell you what we're not doing today. We are not dirtying up a bunch of dishes talking about we cooking no lunch or no dinner. Hello everyone, I'm Bodine Victoria. Welcome to my kitchen, and this is my pot, and it is the only pot I'm going to be using today. After you've been to work and you have worked all day and then you fight traffic to get home because you can hear it in the background, I know for a fact that you don't want to be in front of the stove all evening, and you definitely are not trying to wash a million dishes. And that's where tonight's recipe comes in. Today I will be using Pure Flava Conch Broth, which is the sponsor for today's episode, produced locally and available at stores in Grand Bahama and New Providence. Y'all can find the information right here. And we're also going to use some of our farmers market finds, like the Mudda fungus, oyster mushrooms that are going to add some juiciness to this. Let's enjoy this one pot mushroom and chicken rice.
Let's start with our ingredients, the first of which is the Pure Flava Conch Broth, which is the perfect flavor enhancer. Then you can use oyster mushrooms. We have our chicken breast, which is seasoned. We're going to dice that. We have butter, grated or minced garlic, thyme, and put a bay leaf there as well, Parmesan cheese, some diced onions, and milk or coconut milk, and some Valencia or sushi rice because of the starchiness of it. And of course, here is an alternative Chardonnay, and we have oil. You're going to heat your pan to medium heat, and then you're going to add your oil, and then you're going to add half of the butter, and you're going to let that kind of melt all the way down until it's almost brown. You're going to add your cubed chicken, and we're using the chicken cube so that it cooks faster. Like we said, this is a weekday meal. We don't want to be here all day, and that's going to take about 3 minutes. You're going to remove that from the pan because this is one pot, and you're going to add your oyster mushrooms. Now, if you notice throughout this recipe, we're not going to be adding a whole lot of salt, and I'll explain the reason for that a little bit later. But if you want to lightly salt or season your mushrooms, you can do that here. Next, we're going to remove those from the pot. It will only take about 2 minutes. And we're going to add our diced onions. We're going to cook those out along with our minced or grated garlic until they are translucent, or if you want them to be sweeter, until they are brown. And keep in mind, we're using butter and we're using oil, so they may turn a bit brown a bit faster. And here's where you add your thyme, and I forgot it earlier, but this is why you watch the whole recipe before you attempt it. I added the bay leaf, and we're just going to let that kind of fill the air with its aromatic goodness. Here's the last half of the butter, and here's what I want you to know. For the full recipe, you can check the link in the description, and you can go to BodineVictoria.com, click the blog, and you'll find the BodinePot recipe there. We're going to add 1 cup of rice. 1 cup of rice because I am one person, and this is going to be 2 or 3 servings for me. Okay? Technically it should be 4, but 2 or 3 because it's a one pot meal. And we're going to coat that until it is pretty and it is brown. And you're going to see right now it is beautiful. We're adding our Pure Flava Conch Broth to the mix. And we're adding that so that you know the farmers market is supported by Pure Flava, and they have events like the Central Grand Bahama Farmers Market Fest. It's an excellent platform for small businesses to bring your manufactured goods to the public. And this recipe heavily relies on farmers market finds just so that we eat sustainably, like the mushrooms, which Conch Broth is the perfect complement to. The complex flavors, very simple, no salt added in this particular bottle, make it perfect to kind of balance out the nuttiness of the rice and the deliciousness of the mushrooms. Additionally, we added just a tiny little bit of that basil salt that I got in and I used in the tomato recipe, and we let that simmer for about 5 to 7 minutes. Your stove may be different, so watch it. And we can tell that this is not quite done because the rice grains aren't completely fluffed or translucent. And now we're going to add our chicken that we kind of seared a little bit. And we're adding these things because we don't want the chicken itself to be dry. We hate dry chicken on this channel, and the rice grains are still not done. Now here's where you can either add the wine, and the wine is going to continue to cook out, or just like me, water. The flavor of this pot is not going to be savory. It's going to have like this delicious creamy nuttiness. And if you want it sweet, this is where you add the coconut milk. But if you just want it kind of plain, then you just add your regular half and half, your unsweetened almond milk, whatever's good for you. And I'm adding Parmesan cheese. A bit earlier I added a little bit of salt, and that's because I want to be careful with the amount of salt I include in this. We want it to be seasoned, but we don't want it to be salty, because just because it's salty doesn't mean it's seasoned. And we're going to let that boil, and we want it to be creamy, which is why we just put in the cream and the salt and the milk. So if you look at the texture of this, you can see the onions, you can see the mushrooms, you can see the chicken. There's something to be enjoyed in every single bite of this dish. And in about 35 minutes, we are ready to plate this dish. And here's why I love Pure Flava. It has met local, national, and international regulations, USDA and FDA compliant. It has nutritional analysis, labeling guidance, and a safe shelf life. It is certified as safe quality, all natural product, and it tastes good. Get Conch Broth locally in Grand Bahama at Dick Gregory's, Fine Foods, Bakery and Wine in the Lucaya Shopping Plaza, and Best Brew in New Providence at the Airport Industrial Park.
And now I'm going to eat my dinner. I'm going to pour the rest of the Chardonnay, and I want you to have a great evening. And don't forget, don't let any and everybody dig up in your pot. I said what I said.